his short reign so far as king has been blighted by a cancer diagnosis, which has prevented him carrying out his duties alongside the public he serves. Well, now King Charles, despite his treatment, will return to public-facing work as Buckingham Palace reports that his doctors are encouraged by his progress. This photo, alongside Queen Camilla, was released tonight, taken a day after their 19th wedding anniversary. His first public duties next week will include visiting a cancer treatment centre. Charlotte Gallagher has our top story.
The King and Queen together in the gardens of Buckingham Palace, a positive sign about the King's health. The photo was taken earlier this month, but has just been released. The palace say the King is making encouraging progress and will shortly return to public-facing duties after a period of treatment and recuperation following his recent cancer diagnosis. As the first anniversary of the coronation approaches, their Majesties remain deeply grateful for the many kindnesses and good wishes they have received from around the world throughout the joys and challenges of the past year. The King's last public event was in Windsor on Easter Sunday, and he surprised the crowds by stopping to chat, thanking them for their good wishes.
Keep going strong, never give in. Okay.
His next visit will be more symbolic, a trip to a cancer treatment centre. And in June, he'll meet the Emperor and Empress of Japan, who'll be in London for a state visit. But the King's recovery process is still ongoing.
I guess he will be taking very strong advice from his medical team not to overdo it. There's a psychological component to cancer recovery, and it's great that he feels able to go out there and do more, but he'll need to be very careful that he doesn't stretch himself too much.
This has been a really tough year for the royal family, with both the King and the Princess of Wales diagnosed with cancer. And like any family, that has come as a huge blow. They've also had to deal with intense media speculation. So the announcement that the King feels well enough to return to some public duties will be welcome news.
The Prime Minister, Your Majesty.
The King has been working throughout his treatment, including meeting with the Prime Minister. Decisions about some upcoming events will be made by the King and his advisors nearer the time.
He's still undergoing treatment. They can't guarantee that he will undertake some of the key engagements over the summer, although they're very hopeful that he will be able to. So you've got things like Royal Ascot, Trooping the Colour, Chelsea Flower Show perhaps. I think they're hoping that he'll be able to go to those sort of events, but it's all still to be confirmed yet.
The King and Catherine are two of the most senior and popular members of the royal family. Their absence has been felt by many.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally.
There is no news about when the Princess of Wales will return to public duties. She announced her cancer diagnosis in March and has asked for time, space and privacy for herself and her family. Charlotte Gallagher, BBC News.
Johnny Diamond is at Buckingham Palace for us tonight. Johnny, steady as he goes in the weeks and months, one suspects, despite the good news coming from the officials in that place behind you.
Absolutely right, Clive. Look, it's good news for the King. It's good news about the King's health. It's good news for those who want to see the King out and about. But there are lots of qualifications. The first one, the most important one, is the fact that the treatment has not finished. Treatment is still continuing. We're not quite sure how many things we'll see the King at. As Charlotte was saying, there's a series of big events coming up this summer. Trooping the Colour, garden parties here and up at Scotland, Royal Ascot, a really busy programme over the summer. The Palace has said he will not fulfil that full programme. We'll have to wait to see what he actually does do. There's also the question of changing the timetable according to the condition of the King and, unsurprisingly for a man who is still being treated for cancer, changing the nature of the engagements themselves to minimise any risk to the King. So yes, this is the return of the King, but it is a measured return, with his condition being watched step by step, week by week and month by month.